Hello guys, how's it going? So today is the day I'm going to be announcing the second set in Wrath of Kors, which is called the Deck of Darkness. Now recently I uploaded a trailer, like a teaser video for you guys, just to show you just a couple of pieces of artwork, and I did get quite a response from you guys, which is very much appreciated. So, as well as the announcement of Deck 2, I've also got some pretty nifty little announcement as well to make. More so, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen in the comments regarding the Game Crafter and British orders is very slow and it's very expensive for UK members. So I decided to try and actually create my own cards. Now, you do need a couple of tools, and I have recently uploaded a couple of videos regarding how to create your own trading cards. And I'm just going to show you very quickly because I have basically recreated the Deck of Darkness and the Deck of Honor. Where's it gone? That. And they seem to be really nice to play with. The only problem I've had so far is that due to the laminate, because all the cards get laminated on card, at times if you don't sleeve them, the sides will start flaking away. So literally what I've been doing is, just before I laminate them, I have put some Pritt stick inside the actual lamination sleeve, more so around these corners and the edges of the card, and then put them through the laminator to hopefully heat the glue up and provide it a little bit of extra strength. But if this is something you guys would be interested in, more so for the guys in the UK or whatever, and you would actually prefer these handmade cards by myself and even my brother, then please leave a comment below, because it's, I don't want to be doing all this and wasting all this time on ink and cards when people would just prefer to pay for the Game Crafter services. But I'm going to show you very quickly what I mean. So we've got the card, it's got all these rounded corners, it's laminated on 160 GSM card, it's really good, and I've even gone as far as creating like a booster pack for this idea. So you've got a little pull tab there, and it's got like this perforated, I think that's a word, perforated edge. So you would basically just pull that, and then all this will come apart, and then you get your cards inside your booster pack there. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, guys. I'm going to get straight into this video now. So Deck 2, Deck of Darkness, is utilising the colours black and red, whereas the core of the Deck of Honor used the white and blue elements. So here is your core. So as you can see, it's called the Core of Death. It's rare, as is all cores pretty much. It's got 6,500 HP, and it's got, whenever a unit is removed from play, you may charge this core. You can use 5 charges to force the enemy core to lose 500 health. So it's quite the role reversal of the Core of Light. Main difference being obviously these generate different elements, and the HP is a bit higher on the Core of Light as well. So here we go into the terrains. So we've got Volcano Artwork 1, Volcano, 2 of each, Volcano Artwork 2, and another one. Then you've got the Desert. They also generate red elements, apart from these give the units a HP boost. So you've got Desert Artwork 1, 2 of, Desert Artwork 2, Caverns. So these generate your black elements, and these ones give your black units a 100 attack boost. That's second of. Cavern Artwork 2, exactly the same, just different artwork. And you've got the Bogs. These are the second black terrains, so these will give the units their 100 HP boost. Don't forget, the units have to match the colour of the terrain to achieve the stat boost underneath. And the Bog, the second artwork for the Bog. Not a great fan of that artwork, but yeah. Then we've got the Special Terrain. The Special Terrain is, of course, it only comes with 1 in the deck, and you can have up to 2 of them in your deck at a time. But at the beginning of your turn, you can choose what colour element you would like to generate out of black and red. So that is the Solitary Graveyard. So, terrain aside, we're coming across to the relics now. There's only 2 relics in Deck of Darkness. And they're both uncommon, the same, there's 2 of. So this one costs 3 black elements. It's an uncommon called Grave of Promise. If a unit would die on this stack, don't forget a stack is like when you put your terrain, your unit, your relic and a weapon. You can only have them 4 cards. You can't on a stack at a time. You may destroy this relic and return that unit to your hand. Now this is where the deck starts getting interesting, because I've play tested this with my brother quite a bit recently, and there is a massive element of returning creatures to your hand when they die, rather than them going straight to like a discard pile as such. So these are one of the core cards of this deck. So you've got 2 of them. Really useful. Then you go into the creatures. Now there's more creatures in the deck of darkness, whereas you've got more creatures in here, but less weapons and relics than what is in the deck of honor. The deck of honor's got less creatures, but more relics and more buffs. So you've got the Krillisians. I'm sure you've seen them before. 1 black element for the Mesmeric Krillisian. It's a common. You may destroy this unit at any time to generate 1 black element. And it's got 200 attack and 300 HP. There's 2 of them in your deck. Then you've got the red one, the red variant. It's a charred Krillisian. It costs 1 red to get out. As same again, you may destroy it to generate 1 red element. It's 300 attack, 200 HP, and if you roll a 2, it loses 100 attack for this turn. Coming into the slightly bigger commons now, we've got a Arid Worm. It costs 2 black and 2 red. It's a common. That's the artwork. And when it enters, it does a skill called Burrow. I'll come into that in a minute. It's got 400 attack, 400 HP, and the Burrow also enables, after rolling a 5, if you roll a 6, it gains a nice 100 attack boost. Burrow basically means when it comes into play upside down. Now while it's upside down, it cannot attack, it cannot defend, however it cannot be the target of enemy action cards. So it's basically, it can't defend, but it can't be touched by your opponent until the beginning of your next turn. And then at the beginning of your next turn, you basically flip it over and it's ready to attack. So that's the Burrow ability. I think that goes quite nicely with the worm design. Now we've got another worm, another common, which is 3 red. It's called a Snapjaw worm, and it's a common. So when it enters, it burrows, so it is exactly the same as the other worm. And then the best, number 6, which is, don't forget, the higher the roll the better, it gains a 200 attack boost, and it's already at 500 attack. Quite low on health, but it makes up for that in attack. It's very good as a defender, well, more so as an aggression as such. So we've got 2 of them as well. Now we've got, we're going into the uncommons now. The Conjuring Witch, my baby Jesus, I found these are so good. It's an uncommon for 2 black elements. Now when she enters, you get to look at an opponent's hand. 200 attack, 100 HP, very basic rolls. If you've got the gravestones on your terrain, where have they gone? Them things. If you put that on a terrain with this, then obviously when this, you can just, because her stats are basically not exactly game changing, you can just keep attacking with this unit, and even if she dies, she will, with the gravestone or the wonder in this deck, she will return to your hand, and then you can play her again the next turn to see what your opponent has drawn. So if you use her correctly, and the way the deck is supposed to run, then you can always keep up to date on what is in your opponent's hand. So she's a very good card. 2 of. Then you've got the Entombed Demon, which I did the art for on YouTube. So it costs 1 black, 1 red, and then 1 black or red. That's what the split one means. It's an uncommon. It's a 500 attack, 300 HP creature, unit, and it's got a static ability which says it cannot attack. It can defend. It can't attack. However, if you pay a black or a red element, then this unit can attack like normal for this turn. So it can attack. You've just got to pay its cost. If you roll a 6, its best ability says it hits in battle, but it also deals 200 damage to the enemy core straight away, just for rolling a 6. It's not battle damage, it's just straight to the enemy core. So It's got a nice 500 attack, which is quite high for something that only costs 3 elements to get out. Come on, turn back on. There we go. So that's that. Very nice card. Then we've got another uncommon, which is called the Hoodoo Sorcery. Yes, Hoodoo, not Voodoo. Apparently, according to Google, Hoodoo is referred to someone who practices voodoo, so I'm trying to be clever. 3 black elements. Now, I'm going to have to write an appendix, a glossary at some point. Reveal all means you need to reveal your hand to the opponent. If you do, you can put the top 2 cards of a deck into that player's consumed pile. So you're basically trying to mill the opponent out. It's got 300 attack, 200 HP. If you roll a 1 or a 3, ideally you don't want them. However, if you roll a 6, the opponent must discard a card during battle. So that's pretty cool. We're coming into the rare creatures. This is called the Siege Dragon. And it costs 1 black, 3 red. And then it's got 600 attack, 500 HP. If you roll a 5, it hits and it destroys any 1 relic in play. Don't forget the Deck of Honor uses quite a few relics. If you roll a 6, all your units gain 100 attack this turn. So here's hoping you roll a 6 on the Siege Dragon. Pretty cool artwork. The actual design of the card was given to me by my brother. I drew it up and shaded it in and everything, but my brother just said it would be pretty cool if you could draw like a dragon scaling the side of a tower or something. So I did that, and then I just thought it would be even cooler if it was just blaring fire through the window. So that's the Siege Dragon. Then we've got the Royalty Rare. Now, before I show you this one, if you watched my teaser trailer video, and you watched it to the very end, this card was teased as a little secret at the very end. It's literally like half a second long. You had to pause the video to see this thing. I don't know how many of you saw it, but it's called the King Waven, and it's obviously it's the Royalty Rare. It's got the blue icon, and it's a whopping 4 black and 3 red to get out. But look at that artwork. I am surprised I managed to draw something which I'm really that pleased of. Coming down here, it's got a monster, 1000 attack, 800 HP. Ravens are supposed to be some big thing in my game, and you're not going to see them all that often. You don't want to roll a 2 as such because it damages your core. Roll a 5, it hits, and the defending player must defend a card. If you roll a 6, however, after the battle, you get to destroy any stack in the game, just leaving the terrain in place. So don't forget, if your opponent has got a terrain, a powerful unit, a relic, and a weapon on it, and you happen to get this out and roll a 6 after damage, you can choose any stack minus the core of it, minus the core one obviously, and just wipe it. You know, it's a monster. The best thing is you can get the Kralisians to help pay for that as well, so even better. Now we're coming into the action and response cards. So this is Withering Boon, back to common. It's 1 black and then 1 black or red. That's the artwork of like a sword fading away. And it says any 1 unit in play loses 300 attack for this turn. And you can see it's an action and a response, so you can use it on your main turn or after an opponent has used an action card. That's pretty decent, especially if an opponent is planning like to use a lot of action cards in one turn. It's very helpful. I've got 2 of them. Another action response card called Shattered Memories. It's only 1 black. It's a common, and it simply says you and your opponent discard a card. So that's pretty simple. Quite useful if you've got a card you don't mind. Like if you can only have 6 terrain cards, 7 stacks, but 6 terrain cards out at a time. If you've maxed out your landscape, which is basically you've got a terrain in every single one, that's called maxing out your landscape, you can discard terrain cards from your hand to add elements into which you haven't, to save you taking elements off your terrain. So it's a pretty cool feature. So if you don't need them extra land terrain cards, you can always just discard something you're not going to use, whereas your opponent has to discard a card, especially if you get that early on as well. Then you've got Uncontrolled Explosion. It's a common for 3 red elements. Deals 200 damage to all units in play. It's only an action, so it can only be played on your turn. If your opponent's units this triggers really nicely with the core of death, because if you've got about 5, well, if there's just 5 units in play and they're all weak units and you play this, it will charge your core phenomenally about 5 times depending on how many it kills. Don't forget, damage also stays on units until the end of turn, just like in how magic works, so it can really help clear the board during battle as well. And if you're the attacker, which you will be because it's only an action card, it will help more damage trample through to your opponent's core as well during battle. So that's Uncontrolled Explosion. Coming into the uncommons now. Oh, this card has had me off so many times. It's called Backstab. It's 3 black and it's an uncommon. Tiny little bit of bloodshed there. This card will always resolve, so the Deck of Honour's counter spell will not counter this action card. It just says destroy any unit in play which has 500 HP or less. So it's not too bad. More so the fact that it cannot be countered, so that's pretty cool. I got another action card which is called a Dubious Law. 1 black and then a mix of 2 other red or blacks. That's the artwork. Come here, child. 1 enemy unit of your choice must defend this turn. So if you're attacking, you can play this on your main phase and force a unit to defend, whether it's a weak one with a good ability, or if it's just the only unit out that they've got in their defenders, they can choose not to defend with anything, just take the whole damage. But if you really don't want that unit in play on your opponent's landscape, then this will really help you get rid of that unit. I've got 2 of them coming into the rare action now. It's called Eruptive Fissure. It's 4 red. That's the artwork. Destroy any stack of cards in play. Nice and simple. Pick a stack of your opponents. Poof. Go on, off you. Weapons now. Common weapon. Ball and chain. 2, either red or black. That's the artwork for it. This weapon can only be equipped to enemy units. The unit loses 200 attack. The best thing about this is if you put this on your opponent's unit, a unit cannot not have more than 1 weapon on it at a time. So not only does it give a attack debuff, but it also clogs up the weapon slot for that unit as well. So that is quite good. When we come into the rare gauntlet, the rare weapon, there's only 1 of these in the deck. Gauntlet of Restraint. It's a rare. It costs 2 black and 1 black or red. And I'm sure you might have seen this picture on my YouTube channel as well before. Basically, it comes into play and you have to put it onto one of your units, unless it states like the ball and chain did. So you got to put this on your unit. Then, if you discard a card, equip this weapon to another unit in play and gain control of it. So that's pretty straightforward. At the end of your turn, if the equipped unit was not originally yours, destroy this weapon and return that unit to its original owner's hand. So, for 1 turn, you get this out, discard a card, equip it onto an enemy creature unit, gain control of it, so you need to make sure you've got an empty space over your terrains to gain control of it and plonk it on. Attack with everything. End of turn, this will get destroyed, and then the other unit will then have to go back, not to the enemy's landscape in play, but it goes back to their hand. So that will delay them another turn further. Then we've got the final rare, which is the Wonder. So don't forget the Wonder. You can only have 1 Wonder out at a time, and they are very powerful and very hard to get rid of as well. Designed for longer games to help them end sooner. And that is an Undying Tomb for 3 black elements. That's the artwork for it. And it's got, if a unit of yours would leave play, you may pay its play cost and return it to your hand. So you've got this out in play. If you've got a Krylisian, don't forget they only cost one element to get out into play. You can sacrifice it to generate an element of its colour, play something more powerful, and then you could return it back to your hand by just basically paying its cost. I know it's probably not exactly the best efficient way to use it, but it works really well with the witch, where when it enters the field or when it enters the landscape, you get to look at your opponent's hand. Once you get to look at it, you can just attack, just do whatever. You can defend with it, and basically you want to force it to die. Then if you've got 2 black elements spare, basically you will just pay the 2 black elements and then return it back to your hand and take it back. And then when you're ready again, say it's been 2 or 3 turns after, and you're starting to wonder what's in your enemy's hand, you can just play it again and get it back out on the field, and then you get to have a look at your opponent's hand yet again. So that is basically the Deck of Darkness, and it's really nice to see how it's flowed out. The only issue we had when we put these 2 decks together was when one player gets the royalty rare out. They are massive game changers in Wrath of Kors. However, they're not invincible. They are powerful, but they're not invincible. So, pardon me. If you can get a royalty rare out, then there's a good chance you're going to be winning the game. But like I said, if your opponent has got the royalty rare out, then I wouldn't count on basically scooping as such. But you're gonna have a rough time trying to get rid of that royalty rare. Saying that the deck limit on royalty rares, you can only have 2 different royalty rares in your deck, and the deck is exactly 50 cards plus 1 core card. So they're not hard to get out. They're not easy, should I say, to come across them, and they're not easy to get out. But if you do manage to get one out, then basically that's your reward for getting a royalty rare out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, if you enjoyed the how these cards look, then please be sure to give me feedback. I would get it out, but I'm struggling. Come on. There we go. So that's the card. How I've designed it. It's got rounded corners, it's laminated and everything. Let me know what you think. If you're from the UK and you are interested in buying, don't forget, if you're buying these for the UK, they're going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than the Game Crafter. Only problem is, I wouldn't ship them outside of the UK, so yeah, I really don't know what to do just yet with the Game Crafter. So. I'm still debating that. I've still got a way to go yet to announce to release the game online to the public. However, there will be times where I will be doing giveaways to other TCG makers and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you watched it this far, then I do appreciate you guys watching all this way to the end of the video. And for doing such things, I would like to reward you guys with another piece of art which I created, which will only be shown for you guys who have got to the end of this video. And I myself, considering I'm not very good at drawing humans, I am actually very impressed with this. So yes, that's it guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. See you later.